Hello, in this video I'm going to share a few games I've been playing recently that could give you a decent workout, or maybe not, and some are older than others. I plan to make more videos like this in the future, though I'm still trying to figure out what to call that series of videos. You might see it in the thumbnail, maybe, I'm not sure. The main reason is that there aren't many games out there that really get your heart rate up and help you burn some calories. We need more of those games, obviously. The first game on the lineup is Vendetta Forever. This game is a pretty interesting game. It's like a mix between Pistol Whip and Super Hot. It will be available on October 24th for the Meta Quest 2, Quest Pro, Quest 3, and PlayStation 2 VR. But you can download the demo and try it out right now for free. It will be available for $24.99. So this game has the potential to become a classic, right up there with Super Hot and Beat Saber, but it's going to depend on many factors. The first time I saw this game, I thought it was going to give me motion sickness, but to my surprise it did not. It might still give others motion sickness though, not really sure, so if you're prone to that, you were warned. But that may be a reason why it might not become an instant classic. Also, it's a little too fast-paced. If you grab a weapon, it propels you forward to the spot where the weapon was that you grabbed. If you press the Y, it propels you forward to the next spot, and if you press B, it propels you to the previous spot. So you're going backwards. This game is cel-shaded. It has this comic book style look to it, which fits well with this style of play, in my honest opinion. You gotta react quickly when you get to your spot. Most of the time I go forward, I tend to stand around like a mindless zombie, trying to figure out which direction I should look at or who I should shoot. So basically you get that, oh crap, I'm already here feeling, and you blank out for a little bit while your mind tries to register what's happening. Once you get to your spot, you gotta look around to see where your enemies are, to shoot them, or to dodge bullets or knives that they may throw in your direction. You get a variety of weapons in this game: guns, knives, shurikens, grenades, dynamite, and axes. You can also punch people. The throwing mechanics are pretty basic and simple, which is cool because I suck at throwing stuff. People that like throwing with accuracy, they're probably not gonna like that aspect of the game. So next game in the lineup, I showed some footage of the demo a while back and was blown away with the physics and just how good it looked, and not really sure if it's a game I'll keep coming back to. But unlike Kayak VR Mirage, you actually have to do stuff like find coins, find keys to open locked cases, and swim with the fishies. So you're not going to be swimming around to get checkpoints, although if they added that type of gameplay or game mode, it would be great. A racing mode would actually be nice and make you swing your arms a lot harder than usual to get to the next checkpoint. That would actually be interesting in a swim-only game. The game I'm talking about is Subside by A2D Software. So I gotta say, I'm impressed with the developer. They did a great job with this game. It was really well made. The last time I was wowed by a game with an underwater experience was with a game that was made for PlayStation VR. I wish I could remember the name of it. I just remember you were in a cage and the shark would swim around stalking you and then attacking the cage. It was only a demo, but it was one of the first games I tried besides Beat Saber and Super Hot. I think it was just a tech demo, I'm not really sure, but the experience felt really real and the graphics looked amazing. So with Subside, the actual game we're talking about here, you can swim by spreading your arms out wide, or doing that weird butterfly motion, or the freestyle motion where you swing your arms forward and back. So not only do you swim, but you also can collect coins, and with those coins you can buy items in the shop. I haven't bought anything yet. You can collect toys, not sure what those are for. Maybe you can sell them for money. You can unlock the next level if you collect a certain amount of items. I'm saving all my money because I'm a money grubbing cheapskate. You see a lot of sea creatures floating around that you can touch, but they don't really do anything. Still though, they look great and it adds a lot of depth to the game. So if you stroke with a decent amount of effort, you can burn some serious calories playing this game. If you're looking for a new game to work out your upper body, then this is your game. Obviously this game can become repetitive. You just swim around, but hoping that they release additional levels in the future with things to do. That might not be the case, but it's too early to tell, to be quite honest. Subside right now is available for PCVR through the Steam Store. I'm not sure if it'll be released in any other formats. I doubt they'll do a Quest version. If they do, they have some heavy optimization that they need to do in order to fit it into the Quest format. So the graphics will be heavily downgraded, but if the physics are pretty good, some people might still enjoy it if you can get past the graphics. Another game I tried out recently was Starwave. Now, this game is great, but mostly because of its visuals. It's like a Beat Saber clone with a little bit of Sense Riders thrown into the mix. The hit detection is very good, but every now and then it does miss the mark. I've noticed it does it on the lower right. The visuals look pretty good, but I feel like it needs more for some reason. Like maybe you should go through a tunnel or a cave, or show some ground surfaces, like just traveling just above ground surfaces, just to kind of give it more depth. That would honestly be cool. It's one of those free to try games, so you can mess around with it for a couple of minutes to see if you like it or not. It's available on Quest 2, Quest 3, and Quest Pro. To be honest, I probably wouldn't buy this game because it's priced at $24.99 and it feels like a clone with great visuals, and the gameplay and physics feel a little basic. If it were $14.99, I'd consider buying it, but at the current price, it's just too steep for something I already own, just in another form. I'll definitely keep an eye on it to see if they release more exercises or more songs. Maybe then I will reconsider, or if it goes on sale. So another game I played recently was No Clip VR. This is more of a horror / backrooms type of game. You have to swing your arms while pushing forward on the analog stick to run, which is a decent way to do cardio. So I went into this game thinking that maybe I can get scared into swinging my arms around like a madman, running away screaming like a helpless sap. But instead I got a cheesy game with very little jump scares. I feel the only reason it scared me was because the monster roars were really loud. Unfortunately, there's not many scary moments, so I got very little exercise. I only got chased around 3 times within 20 to 30 minutes of play. The game does not give you a creepy vibe when you're walking around these environments like some other horror games do. You don't get that creepy, quiet feeling that gets your heart rate up, which would have helped as well. The overall concept sounds like a great idea, so I hope they improve on this game, or we see some other company step up to the plate. Why not have some game where you get scared into working out? I only tried one level, but it was enough for me to know that this game was rather bland. Maybe there wasn't many scary moments because there was only one guy in the room with me. I'm not sure, and maybe I was just being an impatient prick. Who knows? Maybe if the game had a quiet, creepy vibe to it that gets your heart rate pumping, that would help. The only thing that really helps it a little bit is that you're just waiting and anticipating, not knowing when that monster is going to come out and kill you or whatever. There is a lot of people in that game, so if you enjoy social games, you might like this game, but that's about it. But like every other social game that's out there with a lot of people, you're going to run into little kids. I don't have anything against little kids. Most of the time I just ignore them if they're being bratty. But just a warning in case you do. No Clip VR is only available for the Quest platform, and it's free to try out. It looks like it's an early access type of game, so down the line they will probably charge, maybe. Another cheesy game I tried, which was a free game, it's called VR Legs. Looking at the video on the Steam store, I was under the impression that you run in place in order to move. The game was free, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this out. I got in, and all of a sudden I was thrusted into this VR chat-like universe, and swinging your arms around does nothing. I was swinging my arms like a possessed humanoid, but I wasn't moving. If you swing your arms up, you jump. You can also climb in this game. So there's that. I wasn't able to change my avatar, even though there was people with different avatars there. I couldn't change any settings, and I couldn't change my name either. The game had a little parkour thrown into it, and there only seems to be one map, so it's like a world that multiple players can join in and play tag. So maybe in the end, when all is said and done, when the game is complete, if they manage to complete it, maybe they are just trying to be the gorilla tag of the parkour genre. But to be honest, it has very little parkour thrown into the mix. But it does look like it's like a early alpha version of this game, so they might add more to it down the line, and maybe it'll become interesting. Who knows? There is a lot of people in this game, which baffled me a little bit, but I gotta admit this is a good concept, and maybe if they can make it into a game like Stride, it might work. This might work, even if the graphics themselves don't improve. VR Legs, this game is available through PCVR, through the Steam Store, and also on all Meta Quest platforms. It's an okay social game if you're into that, but that's it really. Not much of a workout here. Another game I played recently, and for some reason I forgot about it, even though I was pretty impressed with the game, was Rhythm Punch. So yeah, I know it's another punching rhythm game, but this one was well done. I like the graphics, and the physics are pretty solid. It didn't seem that way at first, but once I got the timing correct, I was on my way. I played the demo a while back, and I really liked it. So I'm not quite sure why it slipped under my radar when it got released. You punch these mechanisms with your typical uppercuts, hooks, left and right jabs. You duck, sway left and right to avoid obstacles. You also have blocking and double punches in this game. They also have double uppercuts, which is a little odd but interesting at the same time. You also have the target mechanisms show up in different spots. I'm not sure how you strike at those since they don't cover them in the tutorial, so I just punch them. Having the targets in different spots gives you a little bit more range of motion, which definitely helps, at least a little bit here and there. Unlike other boxing rhythm games, the platform moves, giving you the impression that you're gliding through the level, which is a cool feature. You don't often see that in these types of games. This game has roughly about 19 songs in it with 8 different environments, and it has mixed reality. It's not that cheesy mixed reality where the targets come at you from a portal or some weird hole in the wall. It's the good mixed reality where you just see the targets come at you in your play area. The game also uses hand tracking. The hand tracking is decent, but I can see people with lightning quick punches have trouble with it. For me, it was playable, but I punched like an 80-year-old man and did have a few misses here and there, especially on the uppercuts. I don't really like hand tracking all that much for games like this because haptics have spoiled me like rotten tomatoes, but it's there as an option, and for me at least, with my 80-year-old man punches, it does keep up pretty decently. The game is $19.99 and available for the Quest platform. This game has the free 15-minute trial, so you can check it out before you buy it. Try it out and see if it's to your liking. With me, would I buy this game? Well, I had to think long and hard about that. I was impressed with how smooth everything is, but $20 is too much for a game that has very little content. I'll wait for this game to go on sale, or maybe if they add more songs or different types of exercises, I'll reconsider. The next game took me a while to get the hang of. It's Padel VR. This is a free game to play, but it's an early access game, so try it out while you still can. assuming that when they release the full version, it'll cost money. It took me a while to figure out the rules and position of the paddle. The physics feel a little off on this game. They are not bad, but they are not good either. I did play it for a long period of time, so it's a decent game, but yeah, it definitely needs work. There was times where I would hit the ball and it would fall flat on the ground. It gives you the options to mess with the physics, but I didn't mess with them. I don't think there's a way to set it back to default in case you mess something up really bad. When you first start up the game, the paddle, it's not the way you normally hold a paddle, and I was struggling to hit the ball hard and get it across to the other side. So I had to change that around in the options. I'm probably holding it wrong. I don't know for sure. It just felt weird. So I changed it around a bit to make it as if though I'm holding your regular run-of-the-mill tennis racket or paddle or whatever. I'm thinking it's made for one of those racket controller handles. The one thing I didn't know right away was how to serve the ball, how to properly serve the ball. You have to bounce it first and then get it across the other side to the area where your opponent is standing. So basically this game plays like a tennis game, and the physics overall they're pretty decent. I did enjoy playing this game quite a lot. It's like a tennis game, but with a smaller play area and with the rules slightly changed. I did read that the ball is like a standard tennis ball, but it has more rubber in it, which means it would bounce around less. So maybe that's why the physics felt off for me. I've only played tennis games and maybe racquetball games, so maybe I was expecting more of that. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt regarding physics. Since I'm not familiar with paddleball, I did go over to look at some of the reviews at the Meta Store, since this is only available for the Meta Quest platform, and there was people that said they've been playing paddleball since they were kids and they enjoyed the game. So if there's people out there who enjoy playing paddleball, there's really not many courts out there for paddleball. This might be a good game to try out. So once this game gets out of early access, would I buy it? That would depend on whether or not I keep playing it. I do love these type of games like tennis, racquetball, games like that, but in reality I don't play them a lot. I just come back to them maybe once a month. I'll play a game or two, maybe because I don't have other people I can play with. I'm not sure. So it would depend on the price. In single player mode, it's very hard to beat your opponent, even on easy. I don't think I scored a single point, maybe one. I did see a score of 1 on the scoreboard, but I don't remember how I did it. I don't remember doing it. This game does have a few little extras here and there. There's a game where it shows you the rules, and then there's practice sessions, there's a few mini games. So I would probably, if I continue playing this game like on a regular basis, I would probably pay $17.99 for this game at the most. Padel VR is available for the Meta Quest platform. The next game on the list here is Into Black. If you like Deep Rock Galactic, then you might like this game. Unfortunately, you're not an intergalactic dwarf in this game, and you can't dig everywhere like you can with Deep Rock. That was probably like the thing I enjoyed about that game the most. I just loved digging tunnels. This is one of those games that's more focused on fun, but you end up burning calories along the way, mainly because you're constantly swinging your pickaxe to dig and collect minerals, and you're also grabbing and pulling items from the ground towards you. So this game has a single player campaign, which is pretty decent, but it also has co-op. You can play multiplayer with a friend or with a random person online. It's a game where you crash land on an alien planet that has a majestic yet still dark look to it. You'll need to mine resources to repair your ship while battling the creatures inhabiting this dark and majestic planet, all in an effort to escape and survive. So this game also lets you craft and upgrade your items. The crafting is pretty basic. You don't actually physically craft your items by swinging a hammer over an anvil or carve stuff like you do in some games, which is okay since it's really not its main focus. It also has plenty of content to keep you busy for a while. To fight off creatures, you start off with a gun. If you have the space, you can also walk around or even run away from some of these creatures. There's also a player versus player mode with up to 11 players. I haven't tried PvP or even co-op modes yet. My brother bought the game as well, so I hope to try out the co-op with him soon. This game is $24.99, and this one I think it's worth the price. And it's available on the MetaQuest platform. So that's all I got for this video. I hope you find this video to be helpful in some way or another. Quest 3 is just around the corner. I didn't get it. It's a downgrade from the OG Quest 3 that I already have, but I'm excited to see more people jump into the VR market. I don't think it will have the impact Quest 2 had, because the economy is bad all over the world, lots of layoffs in the industry, or just in general, there's been a lot of layoffs. Then we have all these conflicts between nations. There's also AI and automation. Both of those are coming for our jobs. And let's not forget about inflation. Prices are through the roof, but I do think it will sell a decent amount of units. This time of year is always exciting.
Let's get it.